In the quiet moments of twilight, when the sun bows gracefully to the horizon, there lies a sacred opportunity, a chance to pause and reflect on the passing of the day. At 60, life feels different. The relentless pace of youth has slowed, replaced by the rhythm of contemplation. The body demands rest, and the heart longs for peace. Yet, for many, the simple act of sleep feels like a battle, a nightly struggle with racing thoughts, restless limbs, and the weight of an ever-thinking mind. The Buddha often spoke of impermanence, comparing life to a dewdrop that glistens in the morning sun, only to vanish as the day warms. At this stage in life, that truth becomes undeniable. Every ache and wrinkle whispers of time's passage, reminding us that our moments are fleeting. But within this impermanence lies profound beauty. Each breath, each heartbeat is a gift, a chance to live fully. Even in the stillness of night, before we sleep, the day offers a final lesson. Let go. Just as the river releases its silt to flow freely, we too must relinquish the burdens of regret, anger, and worry. Sleep is not merely a function of the body, it is a surrender, an act of trust in the universe. To rest deeply, one must prepare not just the body but also the spirit. This preparation begins with 3 simple yet transformative acts: drinking warm water, combing the hair, and practicing mindful breathing. Drinking warm water, a symbol of renewal. Warm water, humble yet profound, holds the power to cleanse not only the body, but the soul. As it flows down the throat, it carries with it a quiet reminder: nourishment does not have to be elaborate to be meaningful. A single cup before bed hydrates the body, softens the blood's flow, and calms the restless heart. It is a gesture of care, a moment to acknowledge the sacredness of our vessel, a story to reflect on. In a quiet village nestled among mountains, there lived an elderly potter named Hoa. Each evening, after hours of molding clay, she would sit by the fire and sip a cup of warm water. "This is my prayer," she once told a visitor. "I drink to thank my body for carrying me through the day and to release the heaviness of living." Hoa lived to be 97, her hands as steady as her spirit. When asked about her long life, she said simply, "Gratitude is the elixir of youth, and rest is its guardian." The lesson, warm water, while simple, serves as a ritual of gratitude. It teaches us to honor the small acts that sustain life. Before sleep, let the warmth remind you to release the past, for only an unburdened soul can truly rest. The practice of letting go, the Buddha likened detachment to a rope, binding us to suffering. As the day ends, the mind clings to what went wrong, to fears of what may come. But sleep cannot coexist with such resistance. To let go is to unbind the mind, freeing it to drift into the serenity of rest. Practical guidance: as you drink warm water, close your eyes. With each sip, imagine releasing a worry, a tension, or a grudge. Let the warmth flow through your body, softening the tightness in your chest and the knots in your belly. Say to yourself, "I am free to rest, free to heal." Health, like a delicate thread, weaves through every aspect of our lives. At 60, the fragility of this thread becomes clear. A sleepless night disrupts not only the body, but also the mind and spirit. The Buddhist teachings on interdependence remind us that no part of our being exists in isolation. Just as the moon's pull influences the tides, so too does our inner harmony affect our outer well-being. The symbolism of warm water. Beyond its physical benefits, warm water embodies the principle of interdependence. It nourishes the body, supports the heart, and soothes the mind, demonstrating how a single act ripples outward. A story to reflect on. In a monastery high in the Himalayas, a monk named Tenzin noticed an elderly man visiting each evening to light a candle. One cold night, Tenzin asked, "Why do you come here, even when the path is treacherous?" The man smiled and replied, "This candle reminds me of the warmth I must keep alive within me. If I let it dim, my body will weaken, my thoughts will darken, and my spirit will falter." It is all connected. Tenzin watched as the man sipped from a flask of warm water before heading home, his steps steady and sure despite the icy path. The lesson: just as the man's candle illuminated his way, warm water before bed rekindles the flame within us. It is a gentle act that restores balance and reminds us of our interconnected nature. health as an expression of love. Caring for one's health is not an act of vanity, but of reverence. The body is a sacred vessel, carrying us through joys and trials alike. When we treat it with kindness, we honor not only ourselves but those who love us. At 60, health becomes a reflection of our choices, a tapestry woven from years of habits, both good and bad. Practical guidance. Before bed, take a moment to express gratitude for your body. Say silently, "Thank you for carrying me, for healing when I was unkind, and for giving me the chance to live another day." Sip your warm water with this intention, letting it cleanse not just your physical form, but your emotional burdens as well. A ritual for connection. Health is not sustained in isolation. Just as our well-being depends on the nourishment of the body, it also thrives on the nourishment of relationships. Consider making your evening rituals a shared practice with your loved one. A story to reflect on. An elderly couple, Lan and Foos, had a nightly tradition of sitting on their porch, sharing a pot of warm water. "This is our quiet time," Lan would say, her voice soft but steady. "We drink not just for ourselves but for each other, reminding us that our health is shared." Their neighbors often remarked on their vitality and closeness, a testament to the harmony they cultivated through simple acts of care. The lesson: health is a reflection of love, not only self-love but the love we share with others. Make your evening routine a moment to connect, whether through shared rituals or silent gratitude for those who enrich your life. In these quiet acts of drinking warm water and embracing health as an interdependent tapestry, we find a path to restful sleep and a deeper appreciation for the life we are privileged to live. As the Buddha taught, health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, and faithfulness the best relationship. Let these truths guide you as you prepare to rest, knowing that each night offers a chance to renew not only your body but your spirit. There is a curious power in small mindful rituals, those quiet moments of care that anchor us to the present and untangle the knots in both routines. Combing your hair before sleep may seem insignificant, but when done with intention, it becomes a sacred act. It is an opportunity to release the day's tension and prepare the mind for the stillness of rest. Like meditation, this practice invites you to return to yourself, one gentle stroke at a time, the Buddha once said. As a tangled thread is hard to untangle, so too is a troubled mind. Our thoughts, like strands of hair, often become intertwined in a web of worry, regret, and fear. Just as we comb our hair to restore its order, we must comb our minds to free them from chaos. A story to reflect on. A woman named Mint lived in a bustling city, her days filled with endless errands and noise. Each night, she combed her hair in front of a small mirror, her movements slow and deliberate. Each stroke is a prayer, a letting go. Over time, Minch found that this simple act brought her peace, transforming her restless nights into deep, restorative sleep. The lesson: life's challenges often mirror the knots in our hair, persistent, frustrating, but not insurmountable. By addressing them with patience and care, we find clarity and calm. As you comb your hair before bed, imagine each stroke clearing away the clutter in your mind, leaving space for serenity. The power of gentle touch, beyond its symbolic meaning. Combing the hair stimulates circulation and soothes the nerves. The sensation of the comb against the scalp can bring a sense of grounding, reminding us of the physical connection to our bodies. This tactile awareness is a form of mindfulness, an acknowledgement of the present moment, practical guidance. Choose a comb that feels comfortable in your hand. As you comb, breathe deeply and focus on the sensation. Begin at the roots, moving slowly to the tips, and with each stroke, imagine releasing a thought or worry that no longer serves you. This practice is not about perfection, but about presence. Combing your hair is also a metaphor for renewal. Just as we brush away the dust and tangles, we have the power to renew our spirits each day, no matter how tangled life may seem. A story to reflect on. In a quiet village, an elder named Bayo was known for her wisdom. When asked about the secret to her calm demeanor, she shared a childhood memory. "My grandmother would comb my hair each night, telling me that life, like hair, will tangle, but she would always add, 'Tangles can be combed no matter how stubborn they seem.'" Bayo carried this wisdom into her later years, reminding herself daily that renewal is always possible. The lesson: life struggles do not define us. how we address them does. Combing your hair before sleep is a small act with profound meaning, a reminder that no matter how the day has tangled your thoughts, there is always a chance to start anew. Breathing is the most natural act, yet it often goes unnoticed. The Buddha taught that the breath is the bridge between the body and mind, connecting the physical to the spiritual. Deep abdominal breathing before sleep is not merely a technique, but a path to tranquility. It slows the racing mind, calms the restless heart, and reminds us that peace begins with a single breath. Observe your breath, and you will understand your state of mind. When the breath is shallow and hurried, the mind is restless. When the breath is deep and steady, the mind finds calm. By consciously slowing the breath, we can influence the mind, drawing it away from chaos and towards stillness. A story to reflect on: in a monastery nestled in the mountains, a novice monk named Kien struggled with anxiety. One evening, his teacher guided him to a quiet corner and said, "Breathe, Kien. Just breathe." At first, Kien was impatient, his breath shallow and quick, but as he focused, his breaths grew slower, his mind quieter. "What changed?" Kien asked. The teacher smiled and replied, "Nothing but your attention." The breath was always there, waiting to guide you. The lesson: the breath is a gift, always present, always ready to anchor you in the moment. By focusing on your breath before bed, you can transform restlessness into peace. Abdominal breathing, a path to stillness. Abdominal breathing, also known as diaphragmatic breathing, is a simple yet powerful practice. By engaging the diaphragm, you increase oxygen flow, reduce stress, and prepare the body for deep sleep. This form of breathing is not just about technique. It is a meditation, a way of being fully present. Practical guidance: lie down or sit comfortably. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen. Breathe in deeply through your nose, allowing your abdomen to rise while keeping your chest still. Exhale slowly through your mouth, letting your abdomen fall. Repeat for several minutes, focusing on the rhythm of your breath. As you breathe, you connect with the world around you, recognizing that every being shares this life-sustaining rhythm. A story to reflect on: a farmer named Tam, burdened by years of toil, sought solace in meditation. One evening, as he practiced abdominal breathing, he realized something profound. Every breath I take is a gift from the trees, and every exhale is my gift to them. From that day, Tam approached life with greater gratitude, finding peace even in the hardest moments. The lessons: the breath is a reminder of our interconnectedness. When you practice abdominal breathing, let it deepen not only your rest but also your appreciation for the world that sustains you. As the day ends, the breath serves as a bridge between wakefulness and sleep. It is a gentle transition, a way to leave behind the noise of the day and step into the stillness of night. A story to reflect on: an artist named Line often felt overwhelmed by her thoughts before bed. One night, she decided to focus on her breathing, imagining each inhale as a paintbrush stroke, creating a canvas of calm. With each exhale, she released a color of worry, leaving only the serene hues of peace. Over time, this practice transformed her nights, allowing her to sleep deeply and dream vividly. The lesson: the breath is both art and bridge, connecting you to the present and carrying you toward rest. As you breathe deeply before sleep, remember that each breath is a step closer to peace. Through the simple acts of combing your hair and practicing mindful breathing, you create a sanctuary of stillness within yourself. These rituals are not just about preparing for sleep. They are about honoring the sacredness of life, one gentle stroke and one deep breath at a time. The body is a temple, housing the spirit as it journeys through life. At 60, this truth becomes clearer, as the body demands greater care and the spirit seeks deeper tranquility. 4 simple practices: gentle stretching, warm foot massage, abdominal massage, and light back patting, serve as acts of devotion to this temple, nurturing both body and soul. These rituals are not merely physical. They are gestures of gratitude for the vessel that carries us through each day. Stretching before bed is like bowing in reverence to the day's labor. It relieves tension, promotes flexibility, and creates a sense of openness in the body. More than a physical act, it is a way to acknowledge the interconnectedness of every muscle and joint. A reminder that harmony within the body leads to harmony within the mind. A story to reflect on. In her small garden, an elder named May tended to her plants daily, her back bent from decades of work. Yet each night, she would stretch her arms and legs gently, smiling as she did so. "Stretching is my way of saying thank you to my body," she explained. "Even a tired branch must be cared for if it is to bloom again." Her health, though modest, remained resilient, a testament to the power of honoring the body's needs. Stretching is not just preparation for rest, it is an act of self-respect. As you stretch, imagine each movement as a way of saying thank you to the body that serves you so faithfully. The feet bear the weight of our journey, both physical and spiritual. A warm foot massage before bed is a way to release that burden, grounding the spirit and relaxing the body. The warmth soothes, the touch connects, and the act itself becomes a prayer of gratitude, a story to reflect on. A grandfather named Hung, who once walked miles as a farmer, would sit with his grandchildren each night, teaching them to massage their feet. "These feet have carried me through the fields and forests," he would say. To care for them is to honor the journey. His grandchildren, inspired by his wisdom, adopted the practice, finding that it not only eased their fatigue but also deepened their connection to him. To massage the feet is to acknowledge the path you have walked and the strength it has taken. Let this practice remind you of the resilience within you and the journey still ahead. The abdomen, often called the center of the body, holds not just the organs but also the energy of life. Massaging this area before bed aids digestion, relieves tension, and fosters a sense of balance. It is an act of care that connects you to your inner vitality. A story to reflect on. Theo, a teacher in her 60s, struggled with digestion and restlessness. One evening, she began gently massaging her abdomen in circular motions, as she had seen her grandmother do. Over time, this simple practice eased her discomfort and became a cherished nightly ritual. "As I massage my abdomen, I feel as though I am tending to the fire within me," she shared. "It reminds me to keep my inner flame steady." Abdominal massage is not just about physical health, it is about nurturing your inner strength. With each motion, connect to the life force within you, honoring its quiet power. Light back patting, a touch of compassion. The back carries much both physically and emotionally. A light patting of the back before bed stimulates circulation, relaxes muscles, and offers a sense of release. It is as though you are telling your body, "You have done enough. Now rest." A story to reflect on. In a bustling market town, an elderly vendor named Tuan would close his stall each evening and sit quietly, patting his back with rhythmic care. "This is how I tell my body, it is time to let go of the day," he explained. Despite his long hours of labor, Tuan remained vibrant, his nightly rituals serving as a testament to the healing power of compassion. The lesson: patting your back is an act of self-kindness, a way to acknowledge the burdens you carry and release them. Let it remind you that even in rest, your body is deserving of care and gratitude. As the day fades into night, the rituals we perform before sleep become more than habits. They are acts of reverence for the life we are privileged to live. At 60, each evening is an opportunity to reflect on the blessings of the day, to care for the body that has served us, and to prepare the spirit for another day of grace. These rituals, whether drinking warm water, combing your hair, or practicing deep breathing, are pathways to a life lived with gratitude and compassion. Gratitude as a way of being. The Buddha taught that gratitude is the foundation of a peaceful heart. When we approach sleep with a sense of thankfulness, we transform rest into a sacred act. Each breath, each gesture becomes a way of honoring the life we have been given. A story to reflect on. An elder named Lian, who had faced many hardships in her life, was often asked how she remained so joyful. "Each night before I sleep," she explained, "I whisper 3 thank yous. One for the day I've lived, one for the body that carried me, and one for the chance to see tomorrow. Gratitude is my pillow. It cradles me in peace, Gratitude is not reserved for grand moments. It is found in the smallest acts of care and reflection. Let your evening rituals become a way of expressing thanks for the life you are living, compassion for yourself and others. Compassion begins with how we treat ourselves. By caring for our bodies and minds before sleep, we cultivate the compassion needed to extend to others. This self-care is not selfish. It is the foundation of a life lived in service and kindness. A story to reflect on. A retired doctor named and found fulfillment in volunteering at a local clinic. Each night, he practiced his bedtime rituals with care, saying, "I cannot care for others if I neglect myself." His example inspired those around him, teaching them that compassion begins at home. Compassion is a ripple that begins within. As you care for yourself, remember that this care empowers you to bring kindness to the world around you, a legacy of rest and renewal. As we prepare for sleep each night, we are also preparing for the days to come. These small acts of care, stretching, breathing, massaging, become part of a legacy, teaching those around us the value of rest and renewal. A story to reflect on. A grandmother named Sho spent her evenings teaching her grandchildren the rituals of care she had practiced for decades. "These rituals," she told them, "are my gift to you. They are not just for sleep, but for life." Long after Chow passed, her grandchildren continued the rituals, finding peace in the traditions she had shared. The lesson: the care you give yourself today becomes a legacy for tomorrow. Let your evening rituals be a source of inspiration and wisdom for those you love. The Buddhist teachings remind us that life is fleeting, but within each moment lies the potential for peace and joy. The rituals of the 3 below and 4 above are more than preparations for sleep. They are acts of gratitude, compassion, and reverence for life. As you embrace these practices, may you find rest not only for your body but for your soul, and may each night prepare you for the gift of another day, lived fully and with love.